James Banks here for UpCloseGamers. I'm here with the one and only Artosis. He just finished his GSL cast. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. It was a long cast, man. Those first 3 sets really took it out of me. I'm a little bit tired, but I feel good.
So what do you think about the results today? We saw Bomber, who many people consider to be like one of the top Terran players, get beaten. You saw Virus get beaten, and MMA went out as well. So
yeah, it was a bit odd. The Optimus MMA games, I was expecting actually a little bit better TVTs out of them. It was a lot of sloppiness, but a lot of that I think you can attribute just to both of them being such high-level players. As far as Bomber Keen, that one threw me for a loop, man. I had no idea that was going to happen. I thought for sure Bomber would take him out. But Bomber, at times, his TVT is a little bit out there. I'm not really sure. As far as Genius Virus, they could have gone either way, in my opinion. And whatever the other match was, I'm sure that was... Oh, Xenio Top. Yeah, no, that went about right, too, I think.
Okay, so we see a lot of you doing, like, the pro gaming tour houses and things like that. Who would you say has got the best practice schedule, like, of all the teams you've seen?
You know, I've heard that it's actually Slayers now, so I'm going to go ahead and answer Slayers. I haven't actually gotten over to that house yet. I hope to in the future, but Slayers should probably have the best practice schedule. I think Boxer is really approaching it very professionally like they did in StarCraft 1. Okay,
so coming to StarCraft 1, it's still the big game out in Korea. How long do you reckon it's going to take till people start moving over to StarCraft 2 and it really makes a big push in Korea like the rest of the world has?
Well, slowly but surely, there's more and more players coming over, and in fact, We Made Fox just announced that it will be closing up its whole team in StarCraft 1, so I see that happening more and more over the next year to maybe 2 years. I mean, I can't see StarCraft 1 staying around forever. The game is old. There's not a real big infusion of new players. There's no way it will ever go, you know, global or anything like StarCraft 2. So if Kespa and the StarCraft 1 players really want to globalize and actually make, you know, a real true sport, not just like, oh, this is really cool, because StarCraft 1 is still really cool. It's still really high level and fun to watch. But if they want to make it something more, I think they need to go join up with StarCraft 2. So I would say StarCraft 1 won't be on air more than another year, maybe a little bit more than that.
Okay, so what would happen if all the StarCraft 1 players moved over? Would they just push all the StarCraft 2 players to the side and it'll just be a completely new playing field?
A certain number of players certainly would be pushed aside, and we've already seen some of that. The more StarCraft 1 players come over, the better they do. Some of these players that you see dominating tournaments like Puma, like Bomber, like Nessie, these are all ex-StarCraft 1 players. We don't see a lot of the Warcraft 3 players left over and stuff like that because this is a highly demanding game on APM, on economy management, on stuff like that, and that's where StarCraft 1 pro gamers really shine. So yeah, I think there would be some pushing out, but some players absolutely not. For instance, Nesty, that guy isn't going anywhere, man. I don't care if Flash and Jaedong are playing. Nesty is still going to be one of the top players as long as he's practicing. So some yes, some no, some in between.
Okay, so you've got at GSL, you've got Project A, which is yellow. Realistically, how well do you think he's going to do when he goes for that qualifier? Do you have any insight?
Yeah, I think Yellow will get absolutely manhandled. He's not ready, man. I mean, there are players in Code B, which is the people trying to get into Code A, that are like better than a lot of these Code S guys. I mean, I would put I'm Younghwa against anyone in Code S and give him the favorable matchup, except against maybe 2 or 3 players. So maybe Yellow will get lucky on his bracket. You know, there's a lot of people that play, so there's a possibility he could do okay. You know, of course he is Yellow. He's capable of it, but I don't think he's played long enough to make it in yet.
You said about Code B. What is the possibility of Code A being expanded, so past the amount of players they're letting at the moment, to allow more people to shine through? Because that way we'd probably see a resurgence of players come through and make their way into Code A and then into Code S off their merit, where some people are just getting unlucky with the brackets.
Yeah. You know, while that's something I would love to see, at the same time I feel like that probably won't happen because you have to take into consideration that GSL is a TV show. So they'd have to schedule a lot more days, or maybe knock it down to best of 1 format in the first round, like a round of 64 best of 1. And that's like, players don't want to play best of 1, man, not with that much on the line. So I don't think it's going to expand, unfortunately.
You were a player as well, and then now you're a coach of 6 Jacks. How does it work when you seem to be so busy? Do you still get enough time to play, coach, and commentate?
You know, it kind of goes in cycles. With if I'm commentating a whole lot, I don't get to play and coach as much. If I have a little bit more time off, like for instance I'm kind of in a more set schedule now where I have 3 days off in a row each week, and during that time I play a ton of StarCraft. During these other days, not so much. So I'm like a chicken with its head cut off. I'm like all over the place all the time, doing everything at once.
So you do all these, but which one is your favorite?
Playing, no doubt about it. I love to play. I also do love to commentate. I love to teach people via coaching or my commentary. I try to do both with that. And when I play, if I stream, I try to teach during that. I love to teach people because so many people are so negative online about everything. Like, this is imbalanced. I don't get it, whatever. I really do enjoy the teaching aspect. But for me, playing is absolutely the best. Like just sitting there, grinding alone makes me happy.
Okay, so you said about trying to educate people and stuff. That's basically what we're trying to do as well. We're trying to really help everyone out. So what like advice would you give to a player from, he's not too known, but he really wants to come over to GSL and try, or get involved in a practice house, and he's not in like the MLG GSL level? What advice would you give to them to come over here and try their luck?
Well, I would say don't come over yet. It's so hard that we have players that could win Code S that don't get through. It's kind of a crapshoot in that way. And in fact, it might be easier for you to start practicing a lot more, get noticed by a foreigner team, and get to some MLGs. Because if you rank high enough, then you can get right into Code A. You know, they're making ways for foreigners like this to come over here. So I would say, you know, just practice hard, get noticed, you know, get your name out there, enter some of the smaller tournaments, these weekly cups and stuff that don't have, you know, monsters like Huck and Hydra running loose in them, just killing off, you know, up and comers. And build your way up. Don't just come out here just because, you know, if you want to as like a vacation thing and just try out, yeah, that's great, do it. But work your way up. You're going to be disappointed if you just come out and try. Okay, so to round this up, any final words, anything you want to shout out? You know, just check out thehandsomehero.com. Tasteless and I made a lot of cool t-shirts, and we'd like to, you know, show them to you guys. We like them a lot. And, you know, a shout out to our cameraman, Kan Yang, the runner of E-Stars, holding that camera for us. And check me out at Artosis.tv on YouTube. I'm putting a lot more content up there. So, and of course, thanks to Six Jacks, my sponsor. Great. Thank you very much. Thanks.